Well, hello, 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 all you fine folks tuning in today. Happy St. Patrick's Day. As you can see, I live in a world of green, and so I have all my bases covered today when it comes to St. Patrick's Day. And I am one quarter Irish, so I think that justifies a tiny bit of celebration for today. An interesting fact for you regarding burnout. The country of Ireland is in the top three behind the US and India for percent of the population that experiences burnout. This was really surprising to me when I first learned the statistic, but it is because of a lot of the tax laws in Ireland that US companies have moved some operations that can be done remotely to Ireland. Therefore, the US culture, hustle culture, workaholism culture has started to seep into the culture of Ireland. And therefore, really blurring those lines of work and life and establishing that balance, which then in turn leads to burnout. And of course, when you're working for a company that exists in another time zone, that can lead to some, really stressful asks on your work-life balance, taking meetings at off hours. And so you really have to be even more intentional about your boundaries, about creating healthy working patterns when your work is off schedule. For the very first part of my career, I worked an off shift schedule. I worked from 1 o'clock in the afternoon until midnight every day, Monday through sometimes Sunday, because there were weekend responsibilities. And you really do have to be intentional about how you create boundaries around work. But today I want to talk to you about a topic that I love to talk about, and that is well, I'm just gonna tease that topic. It's my most favorite topic. But today's title is the most important hour of your day when it comes to burnout prevention. So I'd love to hear you put in the comments when you think the most important hour of your day. Is it in the morning? Is it at lunchtime? Is it dinner time? Is it your workout hour? Like, drop in the comments what you think your most important hour of the day is for burnout prevention. And then give me a little drum roll. I want you to give me a little drum roll, because the most important hour of your day for burnout prevention is the hour before you go to bed. Yes, yes, yes. The most important hour of your day when we're talking about creating a nervous system that is resilient to stress is that hour before bed. Which brings me to my favorite topic, sleep. Yes, sleep is so important for us, right? I was reading a bedtime story to my son last night called Even Superheroes Sleep. And I love this story because, well, every kid loves a superhero, but it reminds us that everybody needs to sleep. Even those that we view as exceptional or superhuman, they still need sleep, and you still need sleep. Because no, you can't sleep when you're dead. You're dead. But you need sleep every day. And the amount of sleep you need does vary depending on your genetics. But the general rule is that you need somewhere between 7 and 9 hours of sleep every night. And yet, the average person in the United States is getting about 6 hours of sleep. And studies have shown that for the general population, sleep under 5 hours is leading to cognitive decline and a lack of performance, a higher increase in likelihood of making mistakes and errors. So, why is the hour before bedtime so important? Well, this is when you're preparing your body to sleep. This is when you're cueing your body that it's time to wind down. Now, in the past, I've talked about the importance of getting exposure to sunlight during the morning and then again when the sun is setting. That helps set your circadian rhythm and then subsequently the release of melatonin in your body to prepare for sleep. That hour before bedtime is when your body is really taking in all of this sensory detail and saying, yes, it's time for sleep. During that hour, you should not have bright overhead lights as much as possible. You should have Very low lighting, as close to the ground as possible, even will help encourage your body. It will mimic that setting sun and encourage your body that it's time for sleep. During that last hour of sleep, you should not be exposed to any form of blue light and preferably not be watching or intaking any type of TV or media. I typically read with my tablet, so I do have some screen time in that last hour before bed, but I have blue light blockers on. My glasses have blue light blocking technology, and I use soft lighting all around me while I'm reading. So, would I love to read from a book? Yes, but I do use a tablet. We want to ensure that that last hour of bed is as low stress as possible. So if you want to put on some quiet music, if you want to, relaxing music, if you want to tidy up around the house so that you're waking up to a tidy environment or a clean environment. Right now, it's more tidy than it is clean, and even tidy is a stretch some days. I have a 2-year-old, so makes sense. But we want to use that last hour to kind of really establish a routine. So follow the same steps every night. Your brain loves excitement, but your body craves routine. So if you can follow as much as possible that same routine every night, your body is going to establish better rhythms of sleep. That also helps with how you're feeling the next day. So in the past, I've talked about the importance of when you're intaking caffeine, when you cut off caffeine. The same is true for alcohol. We've talked about that. Those things that are going to naturally impose on your sleep rhythms, we want to be really mindful about our consumption of those. Similarly, we want to be really mindful about our exposure to stress in terms of our nighttime routine. So that hour, really creating that power down hour, is going to ensure that your body has minimized stress as much as possible before we go into our sleep cycle. That means then the next day you're going to wake up more refreshed and more restored from your sleep, which leads to a higher quality and quantity of output in the workplace. It's going to lead to higher resistance to stress with your nervous system. And if you are experiencing burnout, if you are in the depths of burnout, sleep is so, so critical. It is both a preventative tool and a healing tool for burnout. So in the comments of this video, I'm going to share a tool that I use to build your own power down hour. What are the things that you can incorporate into that last hour of your day to ensure that your body is receiving the signals and the cues that it is time to sleep? I'd love for you to implement your own version of a power down hour or even a power down half hour and notice how that impacts the way you feel on the following days. And really, the more you establish this routine and rhythm, the more you're going to feel that energy, that productivity in your working day. All right. If you haven't already, follow me. Make sure you hit the follow button on LinkedIn or on Facebook. You can also follow my hashtag #transformingtired. I'd love to have you follow me. We'll be back next Thursday, next week with another episode of Engineering Your Energy. But don't forget, on Fridays, I drop my collaboration with the incredible Lennis Perez, where we're talking about stress and burnout for women in STEM. So if you haven't already, make sure that you're following for more of that content. You can also subscribe to my newsletter. Thank you for following along. Have a wonderful day. Happy St. Patrick's Day to